Hello, my name's Michael Conneely, and this is a video about the full moon of the 6th of January 2023. I think you'll find this is like a pretty expert presentation of the energies of the full moon, and as usual there's a separate outline vision journey if you wish to deepen your connection with the full moon and maximise your best passage forward from it. But before I go into the presentation and the journey for the full moon, can I ask you, please do see my new Love Star Dating website. This is a brand new dating site supporting those on a spiritual journey in life to find love. And what's so special about Love Star Dating? Well, it especially wishes to serve the love ideals of those on a spiritual pathway. And another unique feature is that it's supported by 8 healers and astrologers who, as an optional extra, a special service, offer their skilled, unique services to you if you wish to better understand your love scripts in this life. And if you wish to understand and heal your relationships. Please do note, importantly, this is a brand new dating site. So that means we start from scratch with no members. But don't be put off by this. Just join, it's free to join, and grow the site. The reason we're starting from scratch is because the truth is most new dating sites start with loads of bogus members. We just don't want to do this. We turned that option down. What we want to offer is something genuine. So don't be put off by the fact we have no new members to start with. Register your details now, grow the website, and soon thousands of people following spiritual pathways and seeking love all can be found on the site. Okay, so now let's turn to the energies of the full moon of the 6th of January 2023. Now, using the sidereal zodiac, this full moon is at 22 Gemini in Punarvasu Nakshatra, and the sun at 22 Sagittarius in Purvarashada Nakshatra. In Western astrology, using the tropical zodiac, this is full moon at 16 Cancer and sun at 16 Capricorn. Now you can see the charts, Western and Vedic, for the lunations for January on the January 2023 charts page on my Star Wheel Astrology website. There's the ephemeris in Vedic and Western for the month as well. And if you want to find out what house in your birth chart, what area of life is especially affected, go to the page for houses interpretation, also on Star Wheel Astrology website. Okay, the nature of this full moon of the 6th of January is basically communicative and questing and spiritually enlarging. I say this because it's in Punarvasu Nakshatra in Vedic Gemini, which is ruled by Jupiter. And I say this also because the sun of this full moon is in Vedic Sagittarius, also ruled by Jupiter. And the standing of Jupiter is so powerful in this full moon. Jupiter is very Jagrat, or wide awake status now, as he transits Pisces, one of the signs he rules. Mercury, on the other hand, the ruler of Gemini, is very combusted by the sun in this full moon. So it's Jupiter big picture time rather than Mercury analytic micro-focus time in our life. Using Rashi Avashta's technique, Jupiter and Saturn are Jagrat, or wide awake and ready to express their nature and themselves at the time of this full moon, whereas Mercury is terribly badly trashed by the sun and trashed even worse by the moon. So this full moon simply isn't a time for intellectualizing or questioning or over-discussion. And the other point I'd make is don't expect wonderful results too quickly. Don't try to force it just now. Don't try to rush things just now. I say this because of the super important point that this is still the dark time of winter solstice. See point 5 in my analysis below. And also I say this because Mars, the planet of action, is retrograde until the 13th of January. And so as a side comment there, beware spats and outbursts and rows. So we now note that there are 5 further major crucial twists to the tale I've just told about this full moon. The first important twist to the tale is that it's crucial to note and understand that this full moon is square Chiron. Moon is square Chiron, sun is square Chiron, 90 degrees. Chiron is at 18 degrees Vedic Pisces. This means that matters of our wound, our fears, our vulnerabilities and our weaknesses, and the healing of these are therefore key to the energies of this full moon. And this is key to how we need to handle those energies. We must realize this feature. We need to give our wounds better and deeper focus and gaze now. And above all, we especially need to use compassion now. There is a good energy for compassion now, with Jupiter and Chiron both in Pisces, Jupiter at 7 Pisces, Chiron at 18 Pisces. Compassion is the highest spiritual virtue. It's embodied in the Tibetan Buddhist god Avalokiteshvara, also called Chenrezig, and the goddess equivalents, Green Tara and Huan Yin. Compassion for ourselves is so important. Compassion for all others is so important. And it's a ready gift if we can open to it at the time of this full moon. The second important additional key factor to the energies of this full moon are that moon and sun are in sextile and trine aspect to a revolutionary driven energy of Uranus conjunct Rahu North Node. Uranus and Rahu are both in Vedic Aries. So this impels us and calls us to our fresh start. Look up what house in your Vedic birth chart is Aries. Get a reading from me. The question is, what do you need to do to liberate yourself now from your prison walls and chains to manifest your fresh start? Uranus calls you to storm your personal Bastille now. What do you need to do to walk freer, to run free on the surface of this earth and achieve your destiny and life purpose for its phase now? Where is your cutting edge for moving forward now? Where must you move forward towards to bring in your higher, better expression now? Define your fresh start now. Use the current Jupiter energy of illumination and vision and sense of purpose to identify and face your wound and to go forward in a journey of healing it now. Face it, understand it, bring healing. The third major factor is that there is still the vast and powerful Lilith-Pluto opposition in the heavens. So we all need to be fully aware at the time of this full moon as to issues of our power and our shadow. What has been stuffed into our shadow? How does it need to be healed? And especially of the nature of our denied wild side that managed properly can bring such wonders to our life and the way we hold ourselves and do things. That's part of what's on offer at the time of this full moon. Power, shadow and wild side. We still need to contact and draw on and work with our shadow self now, so as to liberate our proper and rightful power. And therefore we need to clearer see now what's buried deep in our shadow and sort of motivating us to be things and do things. And we don't know it's there. We just don't understand why we're doing these things and being these things. This is a time, this Lilith-Pluto opposition in the heavens, to bring this material to the light, to come into your power and express your wild side properly. That wild side, that wild self, you need to find now, to see it, to liberate it, to bring it to the light and joyfully express it now. Define it now. Begin it now. We each have to explore, face and identify our wounds and shadows now at the time of this full moon. We have to do this in order to be free and strong and bold enough to move properly forward to the fresh start that we are called to bring in now. Although maybe we won't actually be fully bringing the start forward for a day or two yet, because this is the dark time of solstice, as I express in point 5 that we're coming to. But first of all, point 4, Saturn is calling each of us now to tie up loose ends, to complete unfinished business, to consolidate. If we don't do this, we can't properly and successfully move forward in the way the full moon will show us that we need to do. And indeed, we each of us have to prepare for our big new Saturn journey. Saturn enters Aquarius on the 17th of January. Now notice that Saturn actually entered Aquarius before, but only very briefly for 2.5 months, from April to July last year, 2022, and he only reached 1 degree Aquarius. That was on the 4th of June, 2022. But then he retrograded back into Capricorn, but on the 17th of January, he re-enters Aquarius. And that's a whole new journey. Watch out for my video about that. Okay, the 5th crucial point, as I mentioned, it's really important to realise that we are still in the shadow time, the quiet time, the dead time, the inward time of winter solstice. That is the nature of the energies. We have to honour that. We can't fight it. This is the time for being quiet and inward. And this is a time for the death of what ought to die in you and your life now, in me and my life now. Because it's the death of the old sun as perceived most anciently by humans, and it's the birth of the new sun at winter solstice. And relevant to this point, I'm bringing this video and blog to you actually from the west of Ireland, where I live. And the fact is that near us are Ireland's most ancient monuments, the megalithic cairns and tombs, so many of which are orientated to the solstice. Here, the priests and priestesses of Ireland's first farmers, who came here from Anatolia, did magical work to align themselves, the people and the land, to the energies of solstice. And these high energy places were also used as tombs. They felt and knew the power and the importance of aligning to the great turning wheel of the year, the 8 great festivals of which winter solstice is one. And indeed, one of my Sacred West of Ireland tours actually includes a visit to such a place, Carrowkeel. So you can see my Sacred West of Ireland tours webpage on my Druid Forest School. So take into account for a few days yet that we're still in the dead time, still focusing deep, still arising, not quite yet out of the dead time of winter solstice. Not quite yet does the newborn sun actually step forth. And he was seen as the Mabon, the child of promise, in ancient Irish and Welsh spirituality, for example. Okay, so having now defined the energies that are definitely radiating into each of us at the time of this full moon, you might like to go to the separate blog and video where I outline a possible vision journey to connect with and work with and go forward with the energies of this full moon. I hope this analysis has been useful and helpful, and it certainly can act as a very useful foundation for you now to do the vision journey to see what comes to the light for you as you're about to set forward from this full moon. You can book an astrology reading with me on my Star Wheel Astrology website. As I said, I've started the new international dating site for those on a spiritual pathway, Love Star Dating. My wife Maggie Pashley offers a huge range of healing modalities worldwide. Her website is www.maggiepashley.com. See the blog accompanying this video on my Star Wheel Astrology website's blog, and subscribe to my YouTube. And as I said, see the charts for this month and every month on my Star Wheel Astrology website. So I hope this detailed study has been very helpful insight and prepares you for the vision journey if you want to do it, and for the life journey immediately facing each of us now. Thank you.